Hey there, how are we doing? Simon here, coming at you with another training all about rest day nutrition. So you've been working out in the gym, you've been grinding hard in the iron paradise, and now it comes to that rest day. You're sitting there, you're looking blissfully out of the window into the distance thinking, does the gym miss me? Does the gym know I'm not there? And then you turn your attention to your nutrition. What do you do to fuel the gains? You've done all of that hard work in the gym. You've done all the barbell curls. You've done all of the hip thrusts. You've pumped up those peachy glutes. You've made those t-shirt busting pecs and arms stretched to within an inch of their lives and being thrashed between an inch of their lives. So now what do you do to optimize what you've done in the gym and make the most of that effort? Cool. So what we're going to be covering is my 4 different tips, or the 4 different steps to make sure you're getting the most out of your rest day nutrition. Because you might think one thing right now in terms of how you set up your rest day nutrition, but actually we could turn that on its head potentially. So let's start doing the thing we love to do, and that's give you all of the nutrition information you need in a short, sharp burst of curse-fueled fury. So let's fucking go for it. Right. Now, first things first, you can't fucking hammer your body to within an inch of its life 7 days a week. That is not the optimal way to train. Yes, you love to train. Yes, you love to get into the gym. Yes, you love to lift some weights. If you're a dude, I'm sure you love bench pressing every fucking day of your life if you could. And if you're a lady, you just want to do glute day after glute day after glute day. Am I right? And that's okay. But at some point, you are going to need to take a break from the gym because, yes, the training gives you the stimulus and the opportunity to build muscle, but obviously you need to rest and recuperate. There's only so much hammering your body can take. At some point, you need a little bit of a rest. You need a bit of a recharge. Okay, for some people that might be 2 or 3 rest days per week. Some people it might be more. Some people it might just be 1 per week. Whatever it is for you, you've got to find out what that point is, what suits you, what suits your goal. But that aside, we're not talking about setting up your training program here. That's for another chat. That's maybe for you to get in touch with me and come talk to me about online coaching and all that sort of good stuff. But we will leave that for another time. So when it comes to rest day nutrition, how I prefer to think about it is I read this article on T Nation, which referred to rest days as growth days. So you've got your training days, which is like a stimulus day. That is you getting the stimulus in order for you to actually grow and develop. And then your rest day is your growth day. That's where you're actually making potentially the most gains. Obviously, you're making gains when if you've got your nutrition right throughout the week anyway. But growth days, I think, is a better way to describe it. It makes you feel less conscious of how, oh shit, I'm having a rest day. I'm not doing anything. I need to do this, and this. But also from a nutritional point of view, thinking about it as a growth day is actually quite beneficial. Now, first things first, you might believe that on a rest day, you've got to reduce calories because you're not training, so therefore you're not burning as much calories. If your goal is specifically fat loss, you're thinking, well, I'm not burning many calories here, so logically I should consume less calories, and therefore that makes it a logical decision. That is one way to actually do it if you want to do that. But another way to look at it would be just don't do anything different. Think about your calories across a 7-day period, for example. You could think about your calories across a 14-day period, a month, if you really want to, but it probably makes sense in practical terms to think about it across a 7-day period. So if you're eating 2,000 calories a day, you're eating 14,000 calories a week, and therefore that is the calorie number you're working with. If you then just divide that equally and you have 2,000 calories per day, that's awesome. Then it doesn't matter whether you're on a rest day, it doesn't matter whether you're on a training day, the result will be the same. You will hit whatever calorie target that you want, whether that's in a deficit to lose fat or whether that's in a surplus to optimize building muscle. You will have achieved that 14,000 calorie target, whatever it is that you've calculated, wherever it is that you're going with it. So you can just say, I'm just going to eat the same thing not the same thing, I'm going to eat the same amount of food, the same amount of calories per day across the week. That's cool. That's a great way to do it. In fact, that's often the easier approach because it requires less thought, less decisions. If you're someone who's leading a busy lifestyle, think about it. How many decisions do you want to be making around your nutrition? You're already probably thinking, well, what is the right thing to eat? You know, what food choices are going to make sure I'm not hungry? What time of day do I like to eat? What time of day suits my lifestyle in terms of training, fit nutrition around that? You're already making a bunch of decisions. Do you want to add on top of that, saying, well, okay, it's a rest day, so I've got to drop calories here. And okay, so what am I going to eat now? And what am I going to, okay, on the rest of the training day, I'm going to increase. So what extra things am I going to eat? It's more decisions you've got to make for not much material benefit, if any at all. So personally, I always for myself go with the same amount of calories every single day. And that's where I start my clients as well. If a client really, really specifically wants or needs more calories on a training day, less calories on a rest day, fine, cool, we will go with that. But generally speaking, it is that point at which you start is you keep that average, keep it simple, keep it basic, keep yourself moving to the goal in the fastest possible way. Now, there is also an argument against dropping calories on a rest day in certain situations. So popular belief might be, well, I'm training on Monday, let's say, so I'm going to jack my calories up. Then I've got a rest day on Tuesday, so I'm going to pull my calories down, jack them up on a Wednesday, etc., etc., etc. Now, there might be a situation where dropping those calories on a rest day might not be the best option. Let's say, for example, you train first thing in the morning. If you train first thing in the morning, when do you need those calories in your system? First thing in the morning. So there's no point increasing your calories throughout the course of the day when you've already done that training. You've missed the opportunity to fuel that workout, which is the reason why you upped your calories in the first place. If, of course, you are training later in the day, then you're consuming more food throughout the day to try and fuel that workout, if that's what you're trying to do. So in essence, if you are trying to fuel a workout and that's why you're increasing calories, if you are training first thing in the morning, it makes sense to increase those calories on your rest day, because then you roll into that 5 a.m., 6 a.m. workout more fueled. If you then go and do your workout at 5 or 6 a.m. and then start to fuel up for that workout, well, the workout's already fucking happened. What was the fucking point of that? So there are situations where this whole drop calories on rest day might not be the best option for you, even if you do want to change your calories around. So there is the other side of that argument to say, yes, if you do want to adjust your training or your calories to say, well, I want more for training, maybe you want less for rest days and things like that, absolutely go fucking do that. It will be awesome. If that suits you and that's what you want and that helps you achieve your goals, then cool, go do that. The next point I would make is that you want to keep protein a constant. So regardless of your approach, whether you are increasing, whether you're keeping it an average, then you really want to make sure that you are keeping your protein as a constant. So whether that is you're at 1.6 grams per kilo, whether you're at 2 grams per kilo, whatever it is, just keep it constant. You want to be stimulating muscle growth at really kind of opportune levels, or optimum levels, if you want to call it that. Now, that's going to be involved with total protein intake, but it's also going to involve the amount of servings that you have. We've covered this in previous trainings, previous podcasts, that ideally it's 4 to 6 servings throughout the day if your goal is specifically to build muscle. If you're just trying to lose a little bit of body fat, it really doesn't matter so much, don't really focus it on it. But if you really want to build muscle and you want to go to that advanced level, 4 to 6 servings throughout the day, and you would apply that to your rest day nutrition as well. You wouldn't change that. Then you come on to thinking about carbs and fat. So this is where you may think, well, I need carbs and I'm going to fuel up and I'm going to do all this and all that sort of stuff. Cool. You can do that if you want to. You can replenish some glycogen with some more carbs and that might fuel your workouts and all that sort of good stuff. But really, if your goal is just weight and fat loss, if that's your main goal is weight and fat loss, don't give a shit about the carb and fat ratio. Just go for what you want. I'm on a rest day right now as I'm recording this, and I've just gone and had a fucking real high fat lunch, but cool. That's what I wanted. That's what I enjoyed. I just don't really give a shit. The carb and fat ratio, especially if you're just losing weight, losing body fat, doesn't really matter. If you are training maybe for a specific sport, you're an athlete, you're a sports person, and your training or your event requires you to be well fueled, yes, you might want to then favor some carbohydrates so you're well fueled, well energized to go and perform well in that. But most of us, probably 99% of people watching and listening to this, are not pro athletes. You're just trying to live a healthier life, get a bit leaner, get in shape, and therefore do not worry about your carb and fat ratios. It doesn't really matter, especially on a rest day. Just do what the fuck you want. Just get that calorie target where you need it to be, keep your protein constant, and do whatever you want with carbs and fat. So now we're going to draw it through to the bottom line. What is the bottom line on rest day nutrition? Well, it is this. These are your 4 things you need to remember. Do not overcomplicate it. Do not make it any more difficult than it needs to be. My recommendation is keep your calories a constant unless you have a preference or a need to change them. Next, keep protein a constant, keep it the same, maintain it rest day or otherwise, keep that protein strategy the same. Then finally, point number 4 is do not worry about carb and fat ratios. Again, unless you're a pro athlete or something like that, really just do a carb and fat approach that works for you, the food you like on that particular day, and don't stress about it too much. Just maintain the calories, maintain the deficit, and then keep on trucking. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of training on rest day nutrition. If you did, as usual, I want to hear from you people. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me how things are going with your fitness journey. Are you doing well? Are you listening to the podcast? You're getting lots of information from all these different podcasts that I'm doing, and are they helping you? Come visit me on Instagram. It's at iron_paradise_fitness. Say hello, give me a follow. Drop me a DM, say, hey, Simon, enjoying the podcast. Thanks very much, my friend. And then we'll have a little bit of a chat. Wouldn't that be cool? We'll have a bit of a chat about how you're doing. And of course, if you want to jump on board with the Iron Paradise Fitness family, maybe you want me to sort out your training. Maybe you want me to sort out your rest day nutrition and your training day nutrition and map it all out for you so you get optimum results over the course of the next few weeks, months, and maybe even years. If you do, I'll put a little link for you to go and have a look at what's involved in online coaching. And then you can come and have a talk to me as well about that. But until then, all I will say is keep living the lean life, and I will see you for the next one.